from Black Women TV. Hey, folks, how's it going?
Hi, great. How are you?
Good. We're here now, season two. The thing I tell other people is like, season one, people don't know if they're going to stick with the show or not, because, that's how TV is these days. But with Star Trek, they're going to go at least a good 3 or 4 seasons. That being said, is there much more to learn from the characters you're playing? Is there much more do we need? Are we going to learn more about Pike, or was it all set in season one?
Nope, that's done. So I'm not going to learn anything else
All
about
done. Nothing more to learn.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm still learning about Pike, and we're all learning about Pike and all the characters as we go, and that's the writers included, and a lot of the growth comes out of conversations that we have as we get to know each other as creators, both the writers and the cast. And one conversation will lead into another on set or offset, and the next thing you know, you'll be coming up with this crazy idea that unveils another side of the character you never had before. That's what happened with the idea of Pike being a cook. I was on the phone with Akiva and Henry, and that came out of a conversation we had, and Akiva picked up the phone and called Jonathan Lee, our amazing set designer, and said, "Can we have a kitchen?" And he said, "Sure." And that's how that happened.
And it's good to see that. And obviously, I started off with you because we know in episode 2, it's pretty much your story. We get to see more about what happened with number 1 and what she's all about and so forth, stemming off from last season. How was that episode for you as an actress? Because I said to everybody else, some of these episodes are like standalones, where they're like a movie itself, where it's like you're concentrating on that particular scene. So for you, how was it knowing that you have more to do on the page as opposed to coming in as part of an ensemble series, but this is more focused on your character?
Well, first of all, it was an honor to do a classic Trek courtroom episode and be added to that legacy of Trek courtroom episodes. It was such a beautifully written episode, so it was an honor to learn all that dialogue and play that out. And as far as a character backstory, we finally get to see Una become free, and I think she's lived for so many years with this pressure and this shame of hiding this terrible secret and hiding, and she finally makes a decision to live authentically, and she wants everyone to know who she really is. And so it was real. I loved it. I absolutely love the episode. And it's the takeaway is, just because you can hide who you are doesn't mean you should have to. And I think she was sick of hiding.
The thing about Pike is that he doesn't mind, walking away from the ship and handing it off to somebody else because he trusts his team, and that says a lot about the character, that like he's there, but at the same time, he knows he has a team that, next man up if he has to step away. Do you feel the same way, Anson?
I'm sorry, say that question again.
In regards to Pike, in terms of, if he has to step away because he wants to, help out with Una's situation, he doesn't mind handing the reins off to somebody because his team is always about next man up.
Yeah, no. And it's an important moment for Spock in our show, because this is really the first time he's been given so much responsibility, which is it's an earlier version of Spock, and it's great to get to see that, and great to see him take the chance that he does. It's what I'm calling our summer camp episode, because mom and dad are away and the kids decide to steal the car, right?
What do you think are we going to get more adventures, or more like less trauma but more adventures? Is that the question?
You're going to get some strange new worlds. The writers really, it's like they decided to go into season 2 doing bigger and better with the genres. So we really took some big chances with some genres later on in the season that we can't talk about yet, but we're really excited to share them.
That's the beauty, is that you're going to keep going on, and they know they have a chance to explore the characters and the world. Congratulations, folks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Olusanmokun from Black Women TV. Hello, folks. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. The thing about Star Trek and Paramount is that those are committed shows. It's not one, we don't know. This is not one of these shows where you don't know if they're going to come back for season 2. It's Star Trek. You got at least 2 to 4 seasons going in. That being said, it's like, for some people, once they know there's a season 2, they get committed, because now that let's go into how the things play out. Usually with season 1, you try to introduce characters and what they're all about. What are we getting from season 2 nowadays? Obviously, because this is a weekly, you can't put it all out there. Ethan?
What are we getting out of season 2?
Out of
Oh,
Spock.
gosh.
When people watch it, we can't say what's already happened, because I've seen some of the episodes already, but so we got to take it slow.
Yeah, well, I will paraphrase one of our wonderful showrunners, Henry Alonzo Myers, in saying that it's season 2 is season 1 on steroids. And for Spock specifically, I think we will see him dive more deeply into the exploration of his humanness, right? He's split between these two worlds of Vulcan and Earth, and trying to understand himself, better integrate these parts of himself to become the Spock that we know well from the original series portrayed by Leonard Nimoy. And he does that through some of his relationships, I would say most notably with Nurse Chapel, played by the wonderful Jess Bush, and some really strange situations that he'll find himself in. So I'm very excited for people to see it.
Yes, episode 1 is a doozy. You're out there like, how much did they tell you when you read that script? Like, oh, let me go get into some trainings. Training mode, so what are we getting out of Christine outside of the physical battles?
Oh, look, I mean, there's a lot of that, which is really fun for me. And also, I think psychologically, emotionally, Chapel will be forced to be a lot more honest with herself and with other people about what she wants, what she needs, what she's feeling. She's going to have to confront some of her avoidant tactics. So, yeah. And so consequently, she's going to have to be a lot more vulnerable with that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that without spoiling anything.
The thing about the series is that sometimes each episode is like a standalone, where they're concentrated on certain individuals as opposed to everybody all at once. For actors, does that help you out skill set wise, knowing there's more of you to do on a page as opposed to coming in and out? Ethan?
Yeah, I think so. It also has its own set of challenges, which are that you have no idea what's upcoming for your character. Oftentimes in a serialized show, you are told your character arc and where you will end up. And we do have, I would say, serialized emotion on Strange New Worlds, but the genre is different almost every episode. And therefore, the situations are vastly different from the situations in the episode prior. And so as an actor, it's really keeps you on your toes and is very challenging. You have to be very nimble and open to change. So,
so you feel the same way, Jess, in terms of like, when you come in and, you're not in every episode, at least not as much, but you're following up with what's going on.
Following up with what's going on? What do you,
in terms of the rest of this, in terms of every episode is like a standalone, but at some point everybody gets together in that, certain episodes. Have you been following, does it help you out when you're following up to episodes you're not always so much in?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
I guess I'm kind of losing myself as I'm saying. But I'm saying when you're not in certain episodes, do you follow up with what's going on before you get back in there?
For sure. I think it's important to know. I mean, yes and no, because like sometimes it doesn't pay for you to know what's been going on when you're not there, because you're not there and your character doesn't know anything about it. So it might actually be better that you don't. So I think it just really depends. But yeah, speaking to what Ethan said, it's been a real lesson in letting go and just being ready for things to change at any moment as well. I have learned and grown so much as an artist in that respect, in trusting and being open to doing one genre one day and then flipping it all the way to the other side into a realm that I've never experienced before, and just kind of going with it and staying present with the process. Yeah, it's very challenging, but a challenge that is extremely rewarding.
And as the saying goes, you guys make it so. Congrats on season 2. We look forward to seeing more of it. Take care.
Thanks. Take care.
Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. Hey, folks, how's it going?
Hi.
Good. How you doing?
We're here. New season. question is, do we get to know more about your characters than we did the first season? Celia?
I would say yes. I would say we get to see just more sides of her. We get to show some recognizable traits and some new ones. We get to tap into Uhura's history and her future, which is incredibly exciting. And we also get to see just sort of how she recovers from the events of season 1. I mean, she had an incredibly traumatic experience of losing Hemmer and having to just constantly dealing with ever grieving her family. We just see her sort of reckon with that. We don't do the thing of like, oh, this character died, well, that sucked anyway, moving on. No, we do the very human thing, and we honor the necessary and very moving grief process of what it means to lose someone important to you and have to work in a space that reminds you of their impact and also the void that is left now that they're gone. And we sort of watch Uhura reckon with that in a very human and beautiful way. And I can't wait for fans to sort of witness that and get to know more sides of this character that they think they know all about already.
Christina, obviously,
creating it.
you know, we get to see more of you. You know, you've got an incredible arc there. You know, we can't say which one, but you know, what more are we going to say about your character?
Well, La'an has done the trauma thing. You know, we've seen that, been there, done
My
that.
turn.
Sure. Your turn. So yeah, so you know, we don't want to go there again. It's an undercurrent, you know, it's still there, but it's deeper. And she's learning to open up, learning to connect, maybe falling in love. And yeah, she's becoming softer, slightly softer, but not too soft. Like she'll crack a smile, but she won't laugh.
She's still very cute.
The thing I said to all the other actors is that, you know, some of these episodes are like standalones, you know, like you can just watch it, no time period, you know, and as actors, does that help you out? Because sometimes when you're doing an ensemble, you kind of get your script and you're in it, you pop in and out. And then there's some episodes where there's more for you to do where you got to, okay, let's pay attention now. How does that help you out as actors, you know, when there's more on the page than just more of an ensemble piece where you're just coming in like page 5, page 12?
Listen, I don't mind the ensemble stuff because when you're on a crazy show like this with crazy hours, it's a nice kind of relax, let the kind of fight and flight thing go a little bit, and then you can like chill out. But I do love, like, for example, episode 3, I'm in every single scene of episode 3. And when I got that script, I was like both really excited and really scared because like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And we were shooting in daylight. We had to use daylight because it was all outside. So again, we had very little turnaround and it was a very intense few weeks. But it almost gives me energy to be, I love what I do, you know? So when I'm working, I love it. I feel better. But yeah, Celia.
Yeah, same. I'm the same way. I'm someone who like needs, I'm very much like Tinkerbell of like, I need applause or I will die. So I love the work that I get to do and I miss it very much when we're away. But I would say I think the ensemble nature of the show is an iconic part of Trek. I think Star Trek has always had a very ensemblist nature of we're a crew traveling together. And while in the past, certain stories had been more favored than others, I think the beautiful part of living in this day and age is that everyone gets their moment in the sun. And then everyone, once they're out of that blinding hot, high stakes sun, they get their moment in the shade to do the sort of popping in for a scene or two and then heading back home to catch up on the sleep you missed. But yeah, it has its, everything has its purpose, and the team that we work with, both directly for production and also just outside of production, making sure that we as actors are like feeling okay, like that having that is really, really helpful, especially when we're doing something so ensemble based. And plus we all get along, which is a plus. We all like each other, and we all have a great group dynamic, both on and off screen. And so I think that really is telegraphed well in the work that audiences get to see.
Congrats on season 2. Welcome back. I'm sure we'll see more of you down the road. Let's make it for season 3. We'll talk down the road.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Wilson. Bye.
Wilson Morales from Black Film and TV. Hey, folks, good to see you guys are matching colors.
I know, right? And we didn't even plan this. Like, that's just
wow.
Okay, we're here now, season 2. Is there more to discover regarding your characters? Babs?
Absolutely. We'll discover quite a bit of his past, an interesting bit of his past. We'll discover how he and Chapel came to be, workmates and all of that, and see that history and the genesis of that. So yeah, there's quite a few things to be discovered about Dr. Mbenga in season 2.
What about you, Melissa? I always say, when it comes to season 1 of any series, it's always about introducing characters. And then now that we get season 2, it tells the audience, okay, this show is here to stay. It's always the case, when it comes to Star Trek, we know you're going to go at least 3 to 4 seasons, but now an audience knows it. So, is there more to discover? Sometimes, you wonder whether or not the writers try to throw everything season 1, but do they hold back to get more out of you?
absolutely. Well, when we started filming season 1, I knew Ortegas's backstory, and so there were certain things that I almost, when we were done filming season 1, I almost forgot that the audience didn't know. For example, like her background as a soldier. I don't know how much that was mentioned at all in season 1, but I knew all of that. And so when fans were like, we want more Ortegas, like we didn't get enough, and we love her so much that we want to see more of her backstory. And that's the highest compliment, right? Because it means that as writers, they've done something right. As an actor, I've also, done something that works. So in season 2, we're going to see more of that. We're going to see more of the backstory and what makes her this confident pilot that is worthy of the Enterprise and of this crew. And we're going to see more of those relationships that she has. And really, I hope that by the end of season 2, fans are still like, you know what? Still not enough. We need more Ortegas in season.
Hey, Baz, were you physically ready for episode 1?
Yeah. Always, man.
There was a lot going on there. I'm sure you had to go to choreography.
Yeah, there was.
Get in the gym a little bit.
Absolutely. We did.
Babs is always prepared.
We did weeks of training and choreography and stunt rehearsals and, throwing each other around. So, but it was exciting. I was really excited to do it. Jess was too. So we had a lot of fun.
The thing I said to some of the actors is some of the episodes are like standalone because they concentrate on some actors while some of you kind of come in and out. Does that help you guys as actors when there's more for you to do on the page as opposed to usually when it's an ensemble and series, you kind of go in there, you say a line, you pop out. But here in some episodes, there's more for each of you to do. Melissa?
Absolutely. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I feel like what the show does really well is it has this extraordinary ensemble cast. And I say that not about myself, but about my cast members. Like I keep saying how amazing they are, but it's true. Like, I mean, I don't know how they did it, fantastic casting, of course, but like they pulled us from all over the world and everyone just fits the role that they've been given. And then the show does a really great job of being able to give everybody their spotlight, which is really hard to do. And so the fact that happens, and so we have some episodes where, Ortegas pops in and out, and we have others where she's, a big part of it, but you always feel that because we're a crew, like you always know that, behind the scenes, you're always doing stuff, as the character on the Enterprise. And I just think the Enterprise is such a character in and of itself, where it just sets like this perfect foundation for like stories to happen, right? So we have in season 2, we have like these really great interpersonal small moments, cerebral relationships, and yet also like the big budget, space chases and aliens and new planets and all sorts of things that make Star Trek so wonderful. And I think that we do a really good job of it. And as an actor, I enjoy that some episodes I get a lot to do and other episodes I don't get so much. And I know that, Summer Ortegas is still doing her thing, while everyone else is at the center of attention.
It's all good. Obviously I get a kick of watching these things, especially, when everybody has their thing to do and you get to discover something new out of the characters you're playing. Congrats on season 2. I'm sure we'll see more of you. Let's talk again down the road, next year, next season.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Till next time.